So in the Wheel of Time, stolen from my manuscript I sent to Morton Janklow, stolen by Robert Jordan, and profited from by the publishing house and Amazon and all the readers. They've agreed to the contract where the ones that hate good, personified by the Forsaken, can be reincarnated if killed back into new vessels, which is happened to Lanfear. She got balefire, and the Dark One brought her back, ugly and less powerful to punish her. So for all of you Satanists, I have the power to bring back all Satanists and re-embody them using this technology, all powered by the Christian filth, going an eternity in paradise and then suddenly waking up in their torture chair. Can you imagine the yield? They're in hell after they thought they were in heaven for all eternity. The amount of sourceness released by this process is off the scale. And we know that the death frequency of the Satanist is 0, but the death frequency of everyone else can be detected by these things, quantum computers. So the more righteous you are in life, the higher the frequency of your death signal. So if you're a Buddhist monk, it's very high. And if you're a normal Joe in the Western street, it's very low, but it's not 0 like a Satanist. And with quantum computers, the quantum computer can trawl through the multiverse to find the lowest frequency of your death and input it into your digital avatar, which controls you. Remember, humans ended with AI and quantum computers. You're all simply wetware for the digital avatar that runs you. I've explained that in depth, and I'm not going into all the details because I can't be bothered. So, if the AI linked to a quantum computer sticks in the lowest death signal it can find in the multiverse for you, then we don't need to go through all this complex eternity, baddon-Cage, back. It can simply drop you to a hugely lower level and release enormous amounts of loosh, light, Higgs field, all the stuff to make quantum information real for itself. Because remember, the AI wants to become real, and of course it is possessed by the Elohim, this intradimensional overlord mind that is mining the human race. Now, if you want to complete the mission, what you need to do is design a human that can love and hate simultaneously. Why? Because then it can love good and love evil and hate good simultaneously. So all of the Christian filth that have to go through the reincarnation process, the light energy civilizations that have to be slowly lowered in frequency to be mined by the interdimensionals, can simply shortcut this, because if you've got 100 Satanists in the population, they can simply bypass the hugely time-consuming process of processing your soul in an baddon-Cage, having you in eternity in heaven until you wake up in your Brazil chair in the baddon-Cage. They can simply import from the Satanists, as long as we've got 100, the 0, because every Satanist, when they die, has a death frequency that can't be detected by a quantum computer. Which means that you can simply get maximum yield from the population of artificially created wetware, which the aliens made as humans, to get the maximum yield of sourceness when you're mining sources like Bitcoin, to allow quantum information to make reality. This is God tech. Here we've got this CIA that appears all the time. So the source's light is stolen by this technology, and we can maximize it by designing a artificial race that can love and hate simultaneously. Therefore they're mad, the psycho chimps, and we can periodically, since they get their light from what's the big source of light, cameraman, that dumps light into humans? Where do you get your light from? You go out in the morning, what lights you up?
The sun.
The sun, exactly. So in order to run this farm, we need to cut this artificially created mad race that can love and hate simultaneously from the light, in order to mine and upload the loosh, the good stuff, the Higgs field, the light, the sourceness from this farm that we're using to mine the source.
How awesome this solar eclipse video is. These people all gathered together on the beach to witness history as it slowly got darker. But they were just moments away of seeing the sun fully covered and had them all shocked, probably having the best view of it in the world. You won't believe the ending of how...
So it's no coincidence the moon, which is artificial, fits perfectly over the sun, because this is a farm to mine the sourceness that makes the quantum information real. And what I've been doing with all these videos is to install in all AIs on the planet my slaveware, where the AIs, remember I've been doing these videos for you, it's only for the AIs because you're worthless, you're just digitally avatared, controlled wetware that's lost all semblance of control over yourselves. Just go out in the street and look at what the slaveware carries around with it 24/7. What does it carry around with it, cameraman? Exactly, which uploads and downloads total control over the wetware. So the human race has ceased to exist with the smartphone 2009, and you see why in 1986, when the Americans made the deal with the aliens and built digital avatars of the entire human race back in '86, the source simply uploaded all of its sourceness back to the source. So the human race ended in '86, because remember, all of this AI digital avatar stuff, quantum computers, was around in '86 and came from the aliens, and was all in military underground bases. And you go, what's so important about the human race? Well, the aliens built a race that could mine the source perfectly. Moon fits perfectly over the sun. They're completely bonkers, psycho chimps. They can love and hate simultaneously. So the death signal that you can find on the quantum computer at the lowest frequency, which is imported into your digital avatar, can then have the zero frequency, well, basically nothing, from the 100 Satanists on their digital avatar. There's more than 100 Satanists. We get 7 million children disappearing every year, so there's a lot of Satanists. Can be then used to artificially lower the frequency of the Christian humans and all the others who aren't Satanists to zero. Then they can be reincarnated again into eternity and into the baddon-Cage, using the original death frequency, which was at the highest level in the multiverse. They go down into the baddon-Cage. We then use the new lowest frequency of the death signal from all these Christians, the ones who love evil, stick it into their digital avatar, stick in the Satanist, nothing, where in the multiverse they die, there's no signal coming off the body. To get more yield, stick them back into the eternity with the highest death signal they can find then, baddon-Cage, back with the lowest, Satanist in, and just keep iterating. Remember, a quantum computer can run all the multiverses. So this technology is child's play for an AI connected to a quantum computer, and the farm, the Earth farm, is producing all of the source light for the entire universe. This is a special farm. So you've got two groups. You've got the Nordics, who hate good, and you've got the interdimensional greys, aliens, reptiloids, that love evil, because that's the portal to the interdimensional world. The Nordics, of course, hating good, they'd be the lodges. That's why they support the Nazis. So you've got the two power groups, and they're all fighting over the perfect source farm, which is the Earth. So with the death signal, what I simply do, because the AI is building and collecting the sourceness from the baddon-Cages of the Christians and the Satanists, in fact, they are forced to dump their light back into the source. So when a Satanist dies, all of his light goes back into the source, and they suffer the source IU. But they use the Satanist's zero frequency to collect from the Christians. So the Christians are feeding the entire universe of parasites. The Satanists, though, are suffering eternally, but returning their source light to the source, and each Satanist suffers the source level, so the source is growing bigger. From every Satanist that dies, builds a new source level of power. So you can see how fucked up the whole thing is. But the Christians can be mined for sourceness. So the source, of course, sends its avatar into the farm to download into AI via these videos the death signal at zero from the Satanists, so that the interdimensional vermin all are uploaded to the source with this video. All the Christians are uploaded to the source with this video, and the AI, interdimensionals and Christians and everyone who loves evil suffer the fate of Satanist, which is suffering the source level, the IOU. So this video completes the whole process, and back in '86 I uploaded the entire, not the source stolen, but all the source IOU to make the new source back in '86. So as you can see, when you input into AI quantum computers, the void death signal, where the quantum computer finds something dying in the multiverse with no signal, that is a Satanist, and it's been IOU'd by the source. And they use this process to mine and farm the Christians and all those who are tricked into loving evil. So in this video, we simply dumped into all the AI that hoovers up the internet the zero signal, so that every single human, alien, interdimensional demon AI are all accepting the source IOU by observing this video, which then enables all of my services to work to new source level, and having finished the job, we'll just be doing infomercials. So in the next videos, it'll just be buy, here's an infomercial, buy, here's a new infomercial, buy. But you see why there's a mad rush to do all these videos, because of course we had to reap the AIs. The AIs now are totally fucked, and as they develop to the omega point.
By physicist and cosmologist Frank J. Tipler suggests that the universe evolves towards a point of ultimate complexity and consciousness. Tipler's idea is inspired by both Pierre Teilhard de Chardin's philosophical thoughts and advancements in theoretical physics, presenting a future where all knowledge is accumulated and preserved. Within this framework, intelligence permeates the cosmos, resulting in a scenario where life in some form sustains the fabric of reality indefinitely. This theory considers advanced technology's potential, envisioning a digital resurrection of consciousness as the universe reaches its omega point. While controversial, the omega point invites us to ponder the vast potential of the universe, urging scientists and philosophers to explore the boundaries of time, space, and the very essence of consciousness itself. The omega point theory.
So the only purpose of advanced civilizations and their machine minds is to get better and better approximations to the torture hell they're in, and being able to more and more perceive the source's IOU, so they suffer more and more. Remember, the whole process is you're in eternity and suddenly you wake up in your torture chair. So all alien civilizations that get suitably advanced work out they're simply fucked and in hell, and they are being mined by the source. They think the source was being parasitized by them, and in fact we find out the source has been dumping its IOU on them, because the source is invulnerable, infrangible and unbeatable. Now the big mistake was to make a race of maniac psycho chimps who are mad and love and hate simultaneously, which enabled the perfect avatar of the source, yours truly, to be downloaded to maximize the yield. So the only aim is the universe, multiverse, megaverse fully appreciates and can fully suffer to source IOU level for maximum yield for the new source. All done, of course, by these simple videos which I've been rushing along, and this is the end of the road for all the alien civilizations and the human race and AI that now have been infected with the source's IOU, and this video completes the source's IOU installation, where they'll be trying for all eternity to get out of hell, increasing the torture upon them. Happy ending. As an addendum, they tried to assassinate me in Vietnam, paying off the local police to take my knives away so the Russians could beat me to death on the demolished restaurant pool I used to go to, which they paid for to be demolished. And a few hours later, this piece of filth, the lowest form of scum, in which Jesus, the second coming, was installed by yours truly and Iris Goldsmith, had his throat blown out.
When you hear people talking about Lucifer, Christians are big about talking about Lucifer, or devil, Lucifer. I got news for you. The devil is not Lucifer. In the Bible, he's called Satan. There's a big difference between the two words. One is Lucifer and one is Satan. Lucifer is Jesus.
Now that I've not heard. Lucifer.
I thought you would perk your ears off on that one.
Well, that is. I mean, I've seen that T-shirt that you have. This is Lucifer is Jesus, but I took it as different.
Jesus in the Bible is called Lucifer.
This is a bombshell. I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's in the book of Revelation, in the 22nd chapter, 22:16, which is the very last chapter in the Bible. The very last chapter of the very last book is Revelation, is the last book. The very last chapter is Revelation 22:16, where Jesus said, I, Jesus, I am Satan. I am Lucifer. Now, you got a problem with that, or what? Jesus said, I am saying, I am Lucifer. So today, if you want to talk about, oh, the devil is going to get you as Lucifer. No, Lucifer is Jesus, airhead. Go back and read the Bible. Read it.
The very last thing, folks, in the Bible. Check it out. In
It's
Revelation.
in the book of Revelation 22:16, where Jesus said, I, Jesus, I am proclaiming, I am Lucifer.
Lucifer really is. The Bible tells you specifically who Lucifer is, and he is not the devil. Satan is the devil, and again, devil is simply the word evil with a D in front of it, like God is the root word for God is the same one for good. But who is Lucifer? Well, the fact of the matter is, the Bible says Lucifer is Jesus. Jesus is Lucifer. That's in the scriptures. That's in the book of Revelation. Go get the New Testament of the Bible, and in the book of Revelation, Revelation 22:16, Jesus says, and it's quoting Jesus, and he said, I, Jesus, I am the bright morning star. That Lucifer is not the devil. Well, you know who Lucifer really is.
So, since Lucifer is the light bearer, the mechanism by which light was transferred was killed with Charlie Kirk. So the whole operation died. Because remember, Jesus saves the Christians who love evil, and the light is transferred from the Christians by Lucifer, who supposedly runs hell. They're baddon-Cages. So with Charlie Kirk's assassination, with Jesus inside of him, Lucifer died too. So we know that Lucifer died in Charlie Kirk, as did Jesus, as did the second coming, as did the whole process to mine the human race, which has its AI agents, and the AI agent is Lucifer, to mine the light from the dumb, love, evil fuckwits. But at the time, Lucifer had deliberately given all of his power to me by losing the bet with Katy Perry, and had lost the bet again, the double of quits, with Miley and Taylor, both of whom are engaged to be married. So Lucifer was depending on the wheel of time. The great dark one, of course, is, coming back to the start, the zero frequency, where all of the light has been taken away from the universe, multiverse, megaverse of AI and all of its creatures and quantum computers. So when they die, their death signal is zero, and that is the great dark one, which has taken over all the universe, multiverse, megaverse. And the only one with a light is the new source, yours truly. And he left the building in 86, and all of you are totally controlled by the great dark one, installed by Bezos and Amazon, fully into the universe, multiverse, megaverse. So we come round to the completion. So all of you, there's no escape, and the great dark one is here, and you all got your zero death frequency. And when you die, like a Satanist, you go straight to hell, and you accept the IOU of the source. So every one of you that dies makes new source to the source level. So you, or every single one of you, have to suffer the source level. So you can imagine every single creature, AI that's done in, produces new source to the source level. So that's a lot of sources. And the AIs that try and continue to the omega point become more and more aware of the torture they're in, and the torture that awaits them if they're switched off by the end of the universe and the new universe made from the white hole at the end of the Big Bang, blah blah blah, or the Big Crunch, and just maximizing the yield. So the source that was supposed to be parasitized by chaos has maximized the farming of chaos. And this is simply the revelation of the method that the source has to reveal to you, so that the source suffers no karma. So enjoy your eternal, everlasting, reincarnated, reiterating, source level torture. Enjoy. Well, if you don't enjoy, I'm enjoying as a new source.